Wowie wow woozers, it's episode 2zers. Welcome back to Scarlet Hollow. I'm here in Scarlet Hollow. This is episode 2. Which is where my memory does start to get a little bit hazy, actually. I've played episode 1 a few times before, but I've only really done an extended run once, and that's the run that I'm trying to recreate now. So, we'll simply just have to kind of press on. I don't remember a lot of the beats. I remember the main sort of horrible things that happen, but I don't remember, the lead up. So, I might be kind of doing this a little, well, not blind, but you know what I mean. So, let's just get into it. Let's just do it. Let's just carry on. Already done that. Would you like to see a recap of episode 1 before you start? Yeah, why not? I am Jam. Jam I am. I am on a bus for a funeral in 1 week. Good thing I'm unemployed.
Hey, have you ever felt like killing someone?
Nope.
You want a sack of wet nuts?
Nope! Hey Jam, I'm your cousin Tabitha. I'm moderately suspicious and I do not care for you. If you touch my mac and cheese, I will end you.
Is there a library in town?
I'm definitely gonna bond with her.
Oh, hey there, new face. The name's Stella and my voice changes every episode. I'm a YouTuber.
My condolences.
So, hey, I know we just met, but do you want to wander into the woods at night with me alone?
That's a terrible idea. This is a requirement for Stella's romance route. I'm game.
So, if aliens don't exist, then how do you explain the trucker's finger?
Have you ever heard of a show called Beyond Belief?
What in the Sam hell are you doing?
Flogging.
Keep that to the privacy of your own home, Stella. I'm out here hunting mountain lions.
And I'm hunting for skunk apes.
Ain't no skunk apes taking my chickens, now get!
Jam, what do you think?
I think somebody is going to die.
Well, it sure ain't gonna be me.
Tell me about yourself, Jam.
I sell rocks on Etsy and I predict disasters.
Anything else?
I'm probably autistic.
Oh no, what was that?
My chimkin!
My whoopee hog!
I'll save you, lassie.
Oh no, Duke is dead!
I am a modern day Cassandra.
I reckon it's you. You're from out of town and I can't tell what your gender is.
Woman.
I said a gender.
And I said woman.
Well, the police weren't much help. Let's go talk to that old lady.
Okay, but who's that?
I have your IP address.
Hello, my name is Sybil.
And I'm Kanika.
Silence, child. Fetch the orcs. This bodes poorly. Have some tea.
Wanna crash at mine?
I will do anything to not sleep in that mansion.
What the fuck?
Tuesday morning awaits. Do I have to? Do I have to wake? I'll wake up. You open your eyes and turn down the in-game volume. Just a touch. Just a little bit. Maybe a bit. We'll turn it. There we go. Happy medium acquired. The sun has risen. The birds are singing. You are still alive and, for now, you are safe. Your gaze wanders across the unfamiliar room to the window and woods beyond, and you wonder if the monsters are lurking just beyond the trees, ready to pounce as soon as you leave the comfort of your new friend's family home. You can't help but remember Duke, slumped against the tree, pieces of him scattered across the clearing. A knock at the front door. Your morbid thoughts are interrupted by a distinctly unhappy voice filtering through the house and past the closed door of your bedroom. Where the hell is Jam? Oh, hey, Tabby, there's a fresh pot of coffee on the table if you want to come in. No, I'm just here to check in on my cousin. Let's make this quick. I have a lot on my plate today. You're barely decent. It might be mildly scandalous if people saw you like this. Quickly finish. Okay, so I could just be a fucking little weasel, little gremlin. I could come out half clothed. That's not necessary. It'd be funny, but not necessary. I could hide under the covers, which would be funny. But I'm just going to finish getting dressed and collect myself. You calmly collect yourself while Tabitha fumes outside your door. You sure you don't want to visit for a bit? You don't have to run around being the big boss this week of all weeks. You should let yourself... I'm fine, thanks. Jam, I know you're here. Where the hell are you hiding? I'm not gonna mess with Tabitha. I'm not even gonna joke about it. That's so funny. Now sufficiently prepared to greet other civilized humans, you open the door and join them in the living area. I'm gonna mentally assume that I brought a spare set of clothes with me on the hike. Don't know why I would, but I did. Because I want to be wearing something different, you know, in my head. Gretchen excitedly looks at you and wiggles her tail. Morning, how'd you sleep? What exactly did the two of you get up to last night? We went up the woods to film a video. No, not that part. The cops called this morning and told me all about that. They did? What did they say? They find Duke? They didn't find a body, if that's what you're asking, but apparently he never went home last night. And they had quite a few questions about you, Jam. Don't worry, I told them you're an upstanding citizen. You should remember that kindness the next time you think about blowing me off to spend the night with a stranger. Hey, don't be so hard on Jam. I asked her to crash here. And look, I don't care what the cops think, Tabby. There's something horrible out in those woods, and I don't think anyone in this room wanted Jam to walking up that mountain alone last night. Stella, would you mind giving me a moment alone with my cousin? And while you're at it, please stop calling me Tabby. We're not in high school anymore. Yeah, alright. Ah, dearie me, the drama. The drama! Oh my god. I know it's a reference to something that I don't understand, but I love Stella's t-shirt that she's wearing today. She has this... Anyway, Tabitha has kind of just completely taken control of Stella's house, but I don't have the power to restore order. I'm just going to sort of roll with this. Sorry, Stella, but I should probably talk to Tabitha in private. Yep, totally understandable. Just let me know when y'all are done. Thanks. You've been in town for less than a day, and my stress is already through the roof. I mean, I get it. Stella got you all worked up, and you were too scared to walk home. Sure, whatever. That checks out. But I don't care if those woods are chock full of ghouls and ghosties. You have me worried sick. From now on, you're back at the estate by bedtime. No more impromptu sleepovers. Okay, Mystical's already kicking in. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready for that with Tabitha yet. Anyway, it's like me trying to be all mystical about the fact that I just like stayed over at someone's house. So I could be like, I go where I'm supposed to go, and something told me that this is where I was supposed to be last night. I'm not gonna do that. You're not my boss. It's confrontational without any substance. You can't run off as soon as I get here and hold me to a different standard. Possibly. I watched a man die last night. I'm not ready to unpack that. There's actually something out there. I'm sorry it won't happen again. I'm sorry it won't happen again. I'll remain silent. If I say there's actually something out there, all the more reason why Tabitha's going to make me stay in the dusty-ass mansion every night. I really don't want to do that. I don't like it there. And ideally, I'll find a different bed to sleep in every night, apart from that one. But, you know, I'm gonna go for this. I'm a little bit sort of worked up after everything that's gone on. I'm going to slightly lash out at Tabitha. You can't run off as soon as I get here and hold me to a different standard. Blah, blah. You ran off as soon as I got here. Don't expect me to respect your time if you can't respect mine. There's a difference between my duties and your impulses, Jam. Okay, that's not a bad point, actually. In complete fairness, that's a extremely good point, but don't do anything reckless while I'm at work. I'll see you back at the estate tonight. You hear Stella's voice call out from another room. Wait, Tabby, let me know if you're free sometime. Tabitha sighs. You're relentless. We'll see, but don't get your hopes up. Hey, no need to catch me up. I was listening in from the other room. Sorry I let you get ambushed. Tabby showed up like that and blindsided me. Okay, so it's either I'm happy I stayed here, I shouldn't have stayed here. I don't regret anything, but you're right, that sucks. I couldn't care less what Tabitha thinks. I'm glad that's worded correctly. Nothing, like, irks me in a way that people saying I could care less does. It's just, what do you mean you could care less? What do you mean by that? That's not correct. I don't regret staying here, but you're right. That sucked. It's not like I didn't let her know where I was. Last night was a lot. I don't think anyone can blame me for crashing here. Tabby just don't get what we went through. Who would, honestly? And for the record, I'm happy you stayed too. Anyway, sorry for that rude awakening. Been up for a little while, but I was hoping to get blah 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 blah. I've been up for a little while, but was hoping to let you get a little extra sleep. But you're up now. We got a full day ahead of us if we're gonna get to the bottom of this. So, yeah, how are you so chipper, before anything else? How are you so chipper? You shouldn't be okay right now. I guess I'm just pretty good at compartmentalizing things. What happened out in the woods last night was horrific, but right now we have something important to focus on. I'll have time to process what happened to Duke when we get to the bottom of things. I'm not going to tell her not to bury her feelings. Like, it's true, she shouldn't, but I don't know. It's not going to get us anywhere. Well, I'm going to go for the book smart option, obviously. Like, I'd agree. I've been itching to get to the library. Awesome, because that's exactly where I headed. Sounds like Kanika's already there too. Oh, let me set up a group chat. What's your number? You and Stella exchanged numbers. A text message from Stella to you and Kanika. It reads, group chat. Hopefully we can find out more about ditchlings from some of the older local books there. I've also got a couple threads cooking on my cryptid forums, but who knows if that'll pan out. Anyway, daylight's burning, so let's roll out. Yeah, I don't need to eat. I don't have breakfast. I'm terrible with that. I'm terrible at having breakfast. Works for me. Let's roll. Oh my god, yes, and Gretchen! No regrets. Like, I'm so sorry, Duke, but I couldn't picture this game without Gretchen. The walk to town was short. Stella's house is barely a stone's throw from what remains of Scarlet Hollow's once bustling main street. You shudder as you stare down the thoroughfare, both from the chill in the morning air and the all-too-present memories of everything you witnessed last night. You see that building labelled Town Hall? That's actually the library. Well, it's also the Town Hall, but that's just a small upstairs office nowadays. I guess this town's not what it used to be. That Nami is really into going on walks. I think there's actually going to be a meet and greet later this week. Could be just the pick-me-up we need, what with everything that's been going on. The mayor. Sounds fun. Maybe he'll actually take this whole ditchling thing seriously. I wouldn't trust him to help us after how the cops treated us last week. Yuck. Politicians, maybe, remain silent. Maybe he'll actually take this whole ditchling thing seriously. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Oh, hey! Mine, Stella, and same to you, Jam.
Speak of the devil, we were just talking about you.
Coming from Stella, sir. Do y'all have a slumber party? Sorry, y'all, but I'm actually in a bit of a rush this morning. I can't really stop to chat. It'll take me a bit to set up, so if you want to catch up with folks or grab something at the diner, you can meet me at the library when you're done. Yeah, because I want to talk to more people. Oh, sure. See you in a bit, Stella. Cool, see you soon. Huh. She always has time to chat. Did something happen last night?
Oh, Stella and Jam just got up to a bit of trouble, that's all. It's not my place to share.
Well, it's your place to share, right, Jam? Okay, well this is tough. This is actually tough. I don't know what to do here. I can tell Avery everything that happened, but it's a tricky one, that, because I don't want to exactly be so in panic or revealing details about potential investigations before we should. I'm not going to lie either. No, I don't want to lie. This seems fair enough. If Stella didn't want to say anything, then I'm not going to say anything either. I'm traumatized and not ready to talk about it yet. Or we can accuse them of being nosy or say nothing. I'm going to be level-headed here. If Stella doesn't want to say anything, then I'm not going to say anything either. Okay, I guess that's fair. Hope everything's okay. I'll tell you what. I'm on break for the next half hour. Why don't you swing by the diner if you want to decompress? Winnie can fix you up some of Sybil's new blend. Maybe it'll calm you down a bit. I think you'll like today's mix. It's chaga and lemon balm. Should help ease your stress and tension. And if you feel like talking, I'll be all ears. But no pressure. Anyway, it's up to you. See you around, Jam. See you, Sybil.
Take care now, Avery. I see you're a private person. I can respect that. You never know how someone might respond to hearing the truth of what you encountered last night.
I'd beg it. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that. I had one of my old person turns.
I'd better get back to it myself. I'm glad I was able to catch you this morning, if only to see how you were holding up. Please don't hesitate to stop by if I can be of any help.
Mystical time. I feel like I can kind of go fully mask off with Sybil, because I think Sybil also has the mystical trait. There's a lot of choices. What is wrong with people here? Why don't people know or care about the monsters? Why don't they know or care that a man died? Do you know anything about ditchlings? Thanks. Or we both noticed something horribly wrong about this place. How are you so calm? Don't mistake my calm demeanour for complacency. We all have our parts to play. I trust that you and Stella have what it takes to get to the bottom of things. I'm so sorry to cut our conversation short, but I've got things that need tending to. Stay safe. Clear. Old person turn. Stay safe, Jam, and God bless. Stella said you had some time to kill before she finished setting up. Let's swing by the general store. Maybe I can pick up a snack for breakfast. This is your first time seeing the general store in the light of day. A young man sits at the table by the register, too preoccupied with his phone to care that you stepped in. I could be like, get out of here! There's monsters! Hi, I'm Jam. Do you know how to get the mines? If I want to buy chips or something, do I talk to you, or I can be like really nosy? So, if I want to buy some chips or something, do I talk to you, or... He sighs. I guess, yeah. Kinika decided to skip work today, so of course whatever plans I had didn't matter. Just take the chips. I don't care. Wouldn't that be stealing? Said Jam, the most fucking innocent bean in the world. If Kinika cares about running this place, she can hire someone else and let me live my life. We make most of our money on bulk orders anyway. A bag of chips doesn't make a difference. This is a tough one. I actually can't remember what I did here. I'm paying for my chips. I insist. I'm not ringing you up. Take them or leave them. He's literally, like, demanding that we, steal. This is a nightmare. This is the horror part of Scarlet Hollow. I'm good, thanks. Have it your way. Do you know how to get to the mines? Maps are free. You take a map of the town. The mines are a couple of miles away, but you now have the power to visit your cousin of your own free will. I'm not going to introduce myself to this person who clearly doesn't care. I'm not going to intrude on his privacy by asking what he's doing on his phone, and I'm not that sort. I'm just going to say, right, see ya. The young man doesn't respond as you turn and leave the general store. Whimsy is free. Okay. Swing by the diner is the other explore option. You head towards the diner. The diner's a little quiet today, but the air's still heavy with a tantalizing smell of breakfast. I could like this guy. Fucking hell. Warn the patrons of danger. No, I'm not doing that. You slide into the booth across from Avery. Hey there, stranger. Before you can exchange words, Winnie sidles up, a fresh mug of tea in hand. And you might need this. The answer to 29 down is oink, by the way. What? But the clue is pen sounds. How is that the sound a pen makes? Wait. Pen like pig pen? You kidding me? How was I supposed to get that? I don't know why I even bother with those things. They're just gonna frustrate you. It's just something to do with to fill the time, but maybe I should switch to Sudoku. Have you considered Wordle? Have you considered Wordle? You can only do that once a day, but it's fun. Sometimes. Sometimes it's agony. Winnie leaves Avery contemplating daily newspaper puzzles, returning to her seat behind the counter. So, I know you said it wasn't your place to talk about last night, but if you happen to change your mind... Try the tea. I can say, what if you don't believe me? I can tell Avery about last night. Or, let's start with, what if you don't... I could tell you about last night, but what if you don't believe me? I'm not here to judge. I'm here to listen. Hum, hum, hum. I hadn't even thought about the fucking tea. I don't like tea in real life. But, like... I think Scarlet Jam would be, like, too polite to turn it down. So Scarlet Jam is going to try the tea. You take a gentle sip of your tea. Sybil was right. You can already feel it begin to ease some of the strain and tension from last night's events. Whoa, colour me impressed. Not a lot of folks take to chaga so quickly. Well, now I'll open up, I guess, now that I'm feeling a bit better. You share everything. Glad to have someone to talk to about the horrors you've witnessed. Whoa, that is some heavy stuff. No wonder Stella seemed distant. Monsters in the woods. I may not have lived here long, but I've never heard of anything like that happening around these parts. How exciting. Now that I think about it, when the cops came in for their morning coffee, they mentioned something about going out to the woods to look for someone. Must have been Duke. They seem so disconnected from it, I figured it couldn't be very serious, but... Wow. I'm not going to say the cops in on it, because I kind of feel like I'd be surprised if they were in on this. I don't think they're competent enough to be in on some kind of big supernatural conspiracy. They seem weirdly suspicious of me. I could see myself saying that, even though... Well, no, it is weird that they're still suspicious of me in a way, because evidence has been presented to indicate that I had nothing to do with it. But I am the sudden mysterious newcomer in town, and right after I have newly come to town, it's all kicked off. But even so, I don't get it. They start... They... Speak better, Jam. I don't get it.
They saw Stella's footage. They saw what happened out there. It feels like so far all they've done is hound me. Hey, I don't know if it'd help your anxiety, but even if they think you did something, I'm pretty sure they won't bother going after you. Those cops come in here every day. I feel like I know them pretty well by now. Let me tell you, they have no follow-through. I can't tell you the number of complaints they've just, like, dropped after a day or two. And I'll vouch for you to try anything. So, like, I guess that's kind of a comfort, but it's also not a comfort that you just can't rely on the police here. But, then again, since when could you rely on those guys? I hadn't pegged you as a transplant. Where are you from? I moved here from Charlotte, oh gosh, 3 years ago? Maybe a little more? I've lost track. And Winnie offered me a place to stay and a job, and who was I to pass on that sort of generosity? To be honest, it feels like still feels like I just moved in. Practically everyone apart from the Cole folks grew up in this town, so it's like I'm the perpetual new kid. Don't get me wrong, folks here are plenty polite and friendly, but there's a shared history I'll never be part of. I get it. I felt out of place the whole time I've been here. Folks on the whole have been plenty friendly, but life here is so different than what I'm used to. It's hard to explain, but I just don't feel like I belong. Exactly. There are worse ways to be, but I'm not sure I'll ever entirely feel like I belong here. Do you regret moving here? Uh-oh, Winnie's giving me the eye. I don't think I have the choice to have second thoughts. I'm not going anywhere without Aunt Winnie, and there's no way she's leaving this place. Why'd you leave, Charlotte? If you don't mind me asking. I'm getting glanced at again. No, it's cool. I was having some issues with my folks around my education, which, wasn't great. Especially since I was still stuck under their roof. When my aunt heard about it, she offered me a job and a place to stay, and the rest is history. Hey gang, editing Erin here at 12 minutes past 11 at night. Just with a quick heads up. I accidentally misgender Avery during this section. Avery uses they, them pronouns. I accidentally used masculine ones. Very sorry about that. I'll do better next time. So he did say it was exciting, like, but I'm not gonna pick him up on that. I don't think. It's like I've been acting calm, I guess. I mean, acting calm, but you know. Well, we're on the case, but I hardly know where to start. Let me know if you hear anything. Definitely. Oh, man. Looks like my shift is starting. Hopefully the Chagas had to stand... Hopefully the Chagas had a chance to start working its magic. The diner's where everyone comes to gossip, so I hear a lot about what goes on here. I'll let you know if anyone mentions those monsters or anything else strange or unusual. Avery slips out the booth, giving a friendly half wave before disappearing into the back. You leave the diner, ready to continue your day. We have two choices. We can head to the library, as was agreed, and begin studying up. Or we could blow off Kanika and Stella and go and visit the coal mine with my cousin, who is busy and on shift. And I'm not going to say she doesn't like me. She's clearly shown signs of being concerned about us, but I don't think she'd be appreciative of us being there. And also, it's Scarlet Jam and the library. She loves the library. You enter the former town hall. What once must have been a stately foyer has since been converted into rows of shelves. Meeting rooms and offices long ago gave way to assorted reference collections and reading areas. Oh hey, you made it! I'm in library mode. I'm a big library enjoyer. What the fuck? What is this? There were smiling children. Oh god, what the okay. Yeah, no. A new side of Scarlet Jam is about to come out, and that is the I take libraries very seriously side. You quietly shush Stella before heading over to her table. This is a library. Glad you found a place. Hey Jam, you look tired.
I'm not snitching. I'm not a snitch. I'm not gonna tell. I'm not gonna say I'll sleep when I'm dead, because, like, I don't want to. It was hard to fall asleep, all things considered. Pretty amped up. I've never done a Scooby-Doo before. I'm coping. Just you can't spell it. Okay. It's having a tough one because it feels toneless, but I like Scooby-Doo too much. And hey, you know what? If I'm letting Avery off for them saying this stuff is exciting, I'm going to give myself something. But I am also going to save first. I'm still amped up on adrenaline, actually. I've never done a Scooby-Doo before. Some creepy old guy with a real estate scheme in a bad costume is at least a little more believable than monsters and curses. All we need now is for Gretchen to start talking. I'm sorry, I didn't pick the trait for that. Anyways, I guess we should get started. Hey there, strangers. And literal stranger. Your library is incredible. I can't imagine how much work you have to put into maintaining this sort of collection. Oh, thank you. Hey, Oscar, this is Jam, you know, Tabby's cousin. Oh, I should have known you were a Scarlet. You look so much like Vivian. Not that I know her very well, I was still a little kid when she left. That Scarlet resemblance, it's, strong. I'm Oscar Gutierrez, Chief Librarian, and only librarian. Oscar's amazing. Practically built this library from scratch. Yeah, I'm a little jealous of what the kids around here get to grow up with. They don't know how good they have it. Back when I was in elementary school, all the library had was a couple shelves of boring books donated by old people. Y'all are too kind, but speaking of kids, have either of you seen Rosalina around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she hasn't been answering my texts, and I wanted to make sure she isn't getting into trouble out there. You know the crowd she hangs around with. They're good kids at heart. I'm sure they're just up at the old Maxwell place doing teen stuff. I went up there plenty of times in my day, but I'll be sure to keep my eyes peeled. What's the old Maxwell place? It's this great old abandoned spot, and it's practically a magnet for young people. Even honest students aren't free from its call. I can't believe I used to be so reckless. The floors were like Swiss cheese. I should really have a talk with Rosalina when she gets home. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to be dismissive and say she's fine, and I'm also not going to scare the shit out of Oscar. By being like, but what if the monsters get her? Why is mischief capitalized? Why is teens capitalized? You say nothing and let the others talk. You might not want to let her run off like that anymore, though. It's not as safe as it usually is around here. Okay, Kanika's going to freak him out instead. That's fine. Is that so? Kanika's right. There's some weird stuff going on out in the woods. It's actually why we came in today. Have you ever heard of creatures called ditchlings? They apparently show up around places on the brink of disaster. They kind of look like if the Pillsbury Doughboy was a creepypasta. Kanika's mum told us about them last night after seeing some footage we got in the woods. Ditchlings. Doesn't ring a bell. Dang, worth a shot. Okay, if you were, say, trying to predict a horrible disaster that might befall our town, where would you start looking? Well, they say history repeats itself, so I'd probably try and figure out what sort of disasters this region typically falls prey to. Should I be worried about something? I don't know yet. I'll be right back. Gonna go nab some more books. Behave while I'm gone, Gretchen. Oh, you don't have to worry about her, Stella. You're such a good dog, aren't you, Gretchen? Here, have a biscuit, old gal. Look at that dog. Look at that dog! Gretchen inhales the soft biscuit, drool leaking from her toothless mouth as she swallows it whole. I'm pretty sure Stella's barking up the wrong tree, Oscar. I don't think you have to worry about any horrible calamity befalling the town.
But she's right about the weird stuff. There's definitely something unusual going out in those woods. Okay. Oh my god. Mystical is really trying to get me to freak everyone the fuck out. And I don't think I'm going to do it this time. Maybe for me, Mystical only comes out like in times of horror, you know. A man's already dead. We're not doing that. It's nothing we can't get to the bottom of. Whatever's been out there has been brutalizing the local wildlife. Get out while you still can. Get out while you can. I'm going to remain silent. You remain silent. I'm going to try calling Rosalina again. I'm sure she's fine, really. Rosalina's a smart kid. She knows better than go around getting into trouble, and we'll make sure to keep our eyes peeled. Jam, if you see a 13-year-old girl with a black braid and glasses, would you let her know her dad is worried about her? Oscar anxiously wanders off, phone in hand. Got him! Just grabbed a whole mess of local history books. Stella sets a massive pile of books on the table and pulls up a chair. Alright. This is going to be so much faster with the two of you here to help out. Got our snacks, got our books. Let's get this research party started. Reading awaits. Yeah, me when I play a visual novel. Okay, so we have a few things to explore. But because we're book smart, we get to look at a fun extra thing as well. I'm thinking maybe we do that last. So we'll start with Veins of Scarlet, a history of the Scarlet Hollow coal mines. Forced into retirement at age 50 due to a war injury from his time in the Indian Wars, exacerbated by his short stint serving as a captain in the Confederacy. Cool, great, I have Confederate ancestors, that's great fun. Silas Scarlet also lost his eldest two sons to that bloodiest of wars, leading his third eldest son, Andrew Jackson Scarlet, to take charge of the mine. Under his leadership, the mine prospered, undoubtedly in part due to the growth of the railroad industry. Managed to evade the coal union for decades, making them one of the most profitable mines in the country. So cool, that's great. I descend from a family of Confederates and Union busters. This is great. This is awesome. My fucking my ancestry.com is roasting me right now. Andrew Scarlet built the surrounding town into what it is today, with expensive stone buildings, a bustling main street, and overseeing it all, the elegant Scarlet estate that was, until 1895, the largest and finest feat of architecture in the region. Culminating in the tragic collapse of 1918, it was found that Charles Shaw, the co-manager of the mine, had loosened security measures to increase production during World War I, resulting in a fatal collapse and the deaths of over 160 men and boys, some as young as 10. The casualties included Andrew Jackson Scarlet's son, Theodore, his brother, Enoch V. Scarlet. I couldn't tell if that was like, 5, but no. Enoch V. Scarlet, who had taken over for their aging father during the bustle of the war, managed to pull the mine from the brink of ruin, thereby saving the town. So this is how your family made its fortune. Silas Everett Scarlet. Look at him, he looks like a fucking Confederate. He was born to Colonel Everett J. Scarlet in 1818, one of 12 siblings. He grew up in eastern North Carolina during a tumultuous time in the state history. It's Northeast Carolina. Not much is known about his life before he joined the army in 1836. He quickly rose through the ranks, in part due to his father's connections, but also due to a particular ruthlessness for which he received the nickname Bloody Silas Scarlet. So, not only... This guy's a fucking grade A fucking bastard. Fought in the Confederate War. Used nepotism and also
a particular interest in killing people to rise up the ranks of the Confederates. Oh god, this hurts. The federal government granted the now Captain Silas a tract of bounty land in exchange for his service in the Indian War, and he settled into the hills of North Carolina in 1841. That land would become Scarlet Hollow. But it started as a simple log cabin built by Silas's own two hands, occupied by his family of 10. Silas, his wife Mary Joseph Scarlett, and their 8 children. The logging business brought many workers and fellow landowners to help, but it wasn't until Silas discovered rich seams of coal running underneath the entire region that Scarlet Hollow was really put on the map. He saved what he could, and bought the surrounding hillside at a great discount, cleverly hiding what he knew about the land's true value. Thus, he had all the resources to found Scarlet Hollow's now famous coal mine. You're finished with this one. Let's save the folk monsters for last. And let's stay on topic with, the history of the town. Historical buildings of Scarlet Hollow. Just the thought of reading a book like this would probably put most people to sleep. But you've got a mystery to solve, and to solve it you need to know everything there is to know about this town. Look at all this extra lore we get because we're book smart. It pays. Having fun isn't hard when you have a library card. The Scarlet Estate. I'm better at reading than speaking. The Scarlet Estate, inarguably the most striking piece of architecture in Scarlet Hollow, and the most elaborate and elegant estate in the region prior to the construction of the Biltmore in 1895. Andrew Jackson Scarlett chose a location to be atop a hill in Scarlet Hollow's geographic centre so that it might be seen from the town below. Literally, I must be above everyone else. What a twunt. It remains a constant reminder of the family who carved Scarlet Hollow from the wilderness and provided wealth and prosperity to its residents. Okay. Cool, that's great. That's great. I love how non-biased these books are. First used as a field hospital during the Civil War, it was named for Silas Scarlett's eldest son who perished in the bloody conflict. It still stands at the end of what is now the residential district of Scarlet Hollow and has served the health of the community for over 100 years. In the late 1800s, the town prospered from a coal boom. Additions were built onto the house and it was transformed into a sanatorium, bringing in prestigious clientele from around the world. They believed the fresh mountain air would do them well, and Scarlet Hollow became a tourist destination for patients of all afflictions. The clinic still operates to this day as a doctor's office, and stands as a building of cultural significance. Okay, so we have mines where a tragedy happened and many working men and boys were killed. We have a sanatorium. This really is just the most haunted fucking place in the world, isn't it? Let's read about those coal mines. The original mining facility is no longer standing, having been destroyed in the collapse of 1918. Though the new facility, outfitted with all the cutting-edge technologies of the industry, is in itself a fine example of practical construction, the first iteration of the mining camp was a true product of its time, and what few photographs exist are an interesting peek back at a different era. One can still visit the site of the original Scarlet coal mine, though all that remains are a few abandoned tunnels closed off to the public, or zoned out, I should say. Since I started reading this, let's look at that again. The coal... Okay, so the facility is no longer standing because the original one isn't, because it was collapsed. It collapsed in 1918, of course. There's a new facility. It's got all the cutting-edge tech of the industry. Cool. It's a marvel of practical construction. It's much more modern, and kind of probably corrects the mistakes of the old one, you know. Is that a fucking Madoka Magica? What? The Tremaine Homestead. Situated on the edge of Scarlet Hollow's farmlands, the Tremaine Homestead was one of the earliest settlements in Scarlet Hollow, predating even the town's famous coal mines. For many decades, the Tremaine family maintained the largest farm in Scarlet Hollow, but a break in the family led them to split the land in two, and the homestead along with it. They literally, like, drew a line down the middle of it, like in sitcoms. This is my side of the estate, and this is your side. Despite the many changes made to the two halves of the Tremaine household in the subsequent decades, the original log structures are still visible and maintained to this day. They are undoubtedly the oldest buildings left standing in Scarlet Hollow. So it's the oldest building in Scarlet Hollow and a place rife with arguing people. That's another haunted place. So, you know, we're free for free on haunting places right now. One of the first buildings constructed by the Scarlet family, the Scarlet Hollow First Baptist Church, still sits on its original foundation, though the building was reconstructed to accommodate the influx of citizens during the Scarlet Hollow coal boom of the late 1800s. Attendance has dwindled since the infamous mine collapse of 1918, and while the building may have fallen into disrepair, its simple vaulted ceilings still evoke awe to any who enter. The Town Hall. Silas Scarlet personally funded the Town Hall's construction as the first municipal building in the then small community of Scarlet Hollow. It has stood at the end of Main Street since before the Civil War, its white-columned edifice withstanding the ravages of the 1860s, and continuing to stand to this day, a stunning piece of antebellum architecture. After the town of Scarlet Hollow switched to a dog-mayor system of governance in the 1920s, the building has been put to different use, though the upstairs still houses the town archive and a special ceremonial office for events with the mayor. So the mayor of Scarlet Hollow is a dog. We're doomed. We're so doomed. The mayor's not going to take this seriously at all. I mean, you know, if I had the talk to animals trait, I could talk to the mayor. Also, we wouldn't know about that. We wouldn't know about that if we didn't have book smarts. You close the book and put it back. We got more yet still. We have to look at Appalachian folk monsters. Oh my god, there's so much reading. I love it. I love lore. I'm kind of glad I'm playing this game again, actually, because, to be completely frank and honest, I feel like my understanding of the atrocities of the Civil War have sort of improved since the very first time I played it. I feel like a lot of that might have gone over my head, admittedly, when I first played this game, so I'm... If nothing else, already, it's worth a replay. It was worth a replay for me.